Okay, this is a real quick primer on how to get started with HTML. So I have a text editor here. You know, if you're on a PC, you could use Notepad, or if you're on an Apple, I think they have like Text Edit. This is just the one that I prefer to use. I'm on a Chromebook right now, and it's called Text. So to create a basic HTML document, you need a couple components, and actually you don't really need these parts, but I'll just call this test HTML. Now everything that you see here is called a tag. So this tag is HTML, this tag is head, this is the title tag, and it's bookended between the first one on the left and then the closing one, which actually has a slash right there. And so I'll close the head. Now in the head there could be other tags too. For instance, there's like a meta tag and other things. But to be fully functional, you should really start the document off by saying it's an HTML document, and in the head we're just going to do the title. And you can use Google to figure out what other tags can go in the head. I'm also going to open a body tag. I like to use all capitals for some of these major tags. HTML is actually case insensitive, so you could do this in all lowercase. And this tag could have a parameter. So I could say BG color and have it equal red, and then the background will be red. So I'll leave this for now, but I'm going to wind up changing it. And you can just start typing. So I could say this is a test, and then underneath it I'm going to write spaces behave differently than you would think, a couple more spaces, and then I'm going to close the body tag. So right now we have body, a whole bunch of text, and then I've closed the body. And the head has been open and closed, as has the title. The only thing that hasn't been closed is HTML, so I'll close that right now. And this file is ready to be I'm ready to test it. So I'm actually going to save this document, and I'm going to save it. Let's see, right in my downloads. So I'll call this index.html. That's a good safe name. Most browsers will understand what index.html is. And all of a sudden, because an HTML document in this particular software, it's colored things. So tags are green, and some attributes and parameters are different colors, but that doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to go into where I just saved it. So if you're on a PC, you could save it to your desktop, or you can save it on a flash drive, or in my case, I'm actually saving it on my Google Drive, but I have index.html right there. And you can actually, to test it, just bring it right into the browser, and it should be red. Let me try that again. Or I can just double click on it. And it should be red and says, this is a test, spaces behave differently than you would think. And this is awkward because the text in the HTML document is different than how it renders in the browser. And that's because white space, and white space is referenced in the book, behaves differently. So if you want to go to a new line, you have to use the break tag. BR stands for break, and that will go to a new line. This will still render a little bit differently than you would think, because this break is only, and think of it as hitting return. So it would essentially be the same as writing, this is a test, hit return, spaces behave differently. So even though it looks like there's still a blank space between these two lines, there's not. We've just hit return and gone to the next one. So if I hit save, and then come over to the browser, and I refresh it, then things are different. So if I actually want another break in there, I will add another break. So now you can think of it as this initial break tells it to go to the next line, and then this break will tell it to go to the next line again. So spaces behave differently than you would think would appear on a line under a blank line. So I'll save that, come over here, refresh it, and that's how breaks work. I had said that most tags need to be closed, so HTML has a closing bookend tag, head has a closing bookend tag. Break is one of the few tags that doesn't require having a bookend tag, and to keep track of it, you can put your closing slash right at the end of it, so that's perfectly fine for using the break tag. Now, if I don't want this to be red, I could change it to white, or I could do it black, or I can put the hex color, and you've probably seen the hex colors. That could be like BG color equals, I could do CC, CC, CC. This is the RGB color, and I happen to know that CC, CC, CC is gray. So when I click over here and hit refresh, then we have a gray background. And the default is usually, I think that's a browser setting, or else it's white, but in either event, when I hit save, if I don't specify a color for the BG color, it will be white. And that's the essential. Just to get started, this is all you really need to know. I'll get into more tags and a little bit fancier decorations in the next video.